for me, are complete inspirations. And I'm going to be talking about some of their things right now before we start. I just invited them to join the chat. But as they're coming on, what I want you to do is I just want you to have any questions you have for these two amazing people that you can see right now. I want you to just question it. Just put the questions to me, and then we'll talk about it. So one thing before we start, those that don't know Ananda and Yogi, so it's Ananda Murti and Yogindra. If you don't know them, I'll just give a little brief bio on both of them. One thing is that these two guys are brothers. Can you see the resemblance? Can you see it? Does it look similar? So they've been raised from birth in spiritual life, and specifically in the Krishna conscious movement known as ISKCON. And from a young age, both of them have caught the kirtan bug. So when we mean kirtan, we talk about mantra, music, meditation. These two, honestly, they have traveled the world serving kirtan to everywhere. They've come to the UK. I've seen them at Radharish Mellows. I've seen them in the Middle East. I wish I went to the Middle East, but no, I saw them online in the Middle East. So they have traveled the world. And they also, if you know BB Govinda Swami, he also connects with them quite a lot in travels. So we'll get your connection back. There you are. You're back there. So little thing. So we got it depends where you're looking. So I just want you to raise your hand when I say your name, because it depends on what platform are you're the other way around. So Ananda Murti, raise your hand. There you go. That's Ananda Murti. So Ananda Murti, he's a professor in London. So get this. You both from Switzerland. You're in India right now, in Vrindavan. And you yourself, Ananda Murti, are a professor in London where you're teaching Krishna consciousness within the subjects of philosophy, morality, ethics, and world religions. Mate, that's a lot. That's really good. And not just that he's also an expert Madanga player. I've seen him with Achyuta Gopi. I've seen him with Madhva. These names resonate so deeply with us all. And trust me, I love his Madanga playing. He's really good. He really feels it. He sways his hair when he's doing it. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. And we got Yogindra. Raise your hand, Yogindra, in case there is. So Yogindra himself, this is the beauty about these two. They've got such different talents and they're so amazing. He is actually a amazing comic book writer. And I've seen some of your works. You work for River Comics that are based in New Jersey, USA. Yeah. So let me get this take. First of all, you're born in Switzerland. Ananda comes to London. Yogindra, you're in the USA, right? and at the moment, you're both in Vrindavan. And we're talking right now. That's mad. so you yourself, you're in USA. He writes, directs, and designs comics about the Vedic scriptures. So the characters from the Vedic scriptures, such as Hanuman, Krishna, Shiva, and the other characters like Rama as well. And on top of that, he's a rapper. So, you know, so a rapper and a comic book writer and a kirtan facilitator. And he travels the world, and they're both in a spiritual place in India called Vrindavan right now. So welcome both of you today. I'm so happy to have you both on. And by the way, this is going to be an interactive conversation. And I want everybody that's joining in to connect with us. And any questions you have, let us know. So how are you guys doing right now?
We're doing great, aren't we? Beautiful. We're really happy. We love your enthusiasm, your energy. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's like a pleasure. Sincerely, it's a pleasure to be with you and all of the online crew.
No. It's so we've got, just so everybody's aware, thank you, Instagram. We've got 238 of you, actually, no, nearly 250 with Insta that are online right now. Thank you to the Bhagavad Gita channel. Thank you to the Fortunate People channel. Thank you to Mayapur TV channel, Chant Now, and of course our channels right now. So we've got a few people on, so it's really nice. So before we start, I just want to just talk about our subject is right now, which is pinned, and I'll bring it up on the banner right now. So anybody joining knows exactly what we're talking about. Growing up with spirituality. Both of you have, from a young age, not a young age, from birth, you've been exposed to the spiritual way of life. And some people will be coming into these spiritual paths at a later date. So I'm so honored to have you both on, because you're very enthusiastic boys. At the same time, you have so much wisdom. So how was it when you were growing up? And I'm talking about your really young age. If we can start with that. So what about your parents and how you got exposed to spirituality? That'd be really great.
It started, well, actually, you're right. It started with our parents, actually. It's crazy because our mom, she actually met Srila Prabhupada when she was around a small girl. And she actually went to Srila Prabhupada and gave him a rose. And Prabhupada kind of petted her on the head and gave her a lot of blessings, because our mom's uncle is a Prabhupada disciple. So it all started from our mother. And, our father also, they both kind of taught us how to be Krishna conscious. And yeah, can you hear us? Is it okay?
Yeah, that's okay. So we got some Instagram thing. I'm just going to check. It's just your Instagram. We cannot hear too well. So I'm just going to try. I'm just going to try and see what we can do. I think I know what it is. That was meant to happen, everybody. So let's just try and sort this out. We'll just sort out the whole thing. Let's try and get this right. So, okay, apologies, Instagram. We'll get this sorted right now. And I'll just try and make sure how that works. So, Ananda Murti, just do one thing. You got your phone with you right now. Team, maybe disconnect. I'll just take you off and bring you back on. And then just if you can speak, and then I'll just check. If we can, I'll take you off Instagram and I'll bring you back on. Just 1 second, everybody. So I'll remove you off Instagram. We'll just try and come back on just to try and do that. And I've got my other headset in here just to check that the sound comes okay for everybody.
So resourceful.
I'm just checking while we wait. We've got so many people come on. Thank you, Shivan. Thank you, Mira. We got Ramals, Shaka Shri. So many people. Okay, I'm just going to invite you again, Being Yogi.
Okay, cool.
Right. Unable to join, Being Yogi. We're going to try again.
There we go. Let me. We got a request.
Did you? Yeah. If you just try, we'll try again. This is the wonders of technology, everybody.
Yeah, here we go. Request.
There you are. I can see you. I'm going to add you now.
And
we're going to try.
We're here.
Okay, testing. Speak.
Can you guys hear us now?
Yeah, perfect. Good. We're good now. Cool. Excellent. Let's roll this show. Okay, awesome. Everybody. So I just want to come on to this thing, what we're talking about, your spiritual life. And thank you for those also on Instagram that just let us know. Really appreciate your feedback. And apologies for that little issue. So you grew up in spiritual life.
Yeah.
Your parents. So can I just start with your parents? What's their background? And how did you get into, from a young age? How did it start?
Well, so as I was saying, our mother, her uncle is a Prabhupada disciple. And so our connection to Srila Prabhupada, it started from our mother. And so our mother and father, they kind of, we were growing up in Switzerland, and they essentially, through their own example, taught us what it is to be a devotee. We'd wake up in the mornings, see our dad rise early, take a shower, do his puja, and then we would see our mom cooking, chanting in the kitchen, kind of like the stories, we hear Mother Yashoda. She's singing.
Ananda, sorry to stop you. Can you put the phone closer to you? They can hear like a fan. So that's what the problem is.
Is that, okay.
Okay, just if one, yeah, that's better. Okay, thank you. That's it. That's good. That's okay. If you speak, I'll keep a check.
Okay, perfect.
Can you hear us?
Yep.
Oh, beautiful. Okay,
perfect.
So let me just.
Perfect.
Just so that you all know, now we won't know where to look.
It's all good.
Okay. Yeah, it's confusing, isn't it? It's like, where do I look? Yeah.
So, Jagannath Prabhu, you just expanded. There's an expansion of you.
This is your Vilasa form. Okay.
No. Yeah.
So yeah, we're honestly, Jagannath Prabhu, we're really grateful to have devotee parents. Every single thing, all the credit goes to them. If they did not teach us how to be devotees, I don't think right now we'd be devotees. Just watching them growing up, they're our example. We just look at them and we're happy. So we're really grateful to have them.
And they also taught us practically, like when we got up in the morning, we had to brush our teeth, we had to take a shower, we had to go in front of the Lord in DT form, we had to do prayers, and our mother would teach us, like practically the Brahma Samhita. She would teach us different prayers to chant in front of the Lord. Before we got breakfast, we had to chant a few rounds, Wow. So like they just molded our lives in a way that was really Krishna conscious. So it and like we grew up in Switzerland, as you know. So the TV channels were all in German. SpongeBob was in German. So as young kids, we couldn't watch SpongeBob. So what our parents did was they put Ramayana and Krishna on. So we were busy watching Ramayana and Krishna, and that's all that was in our head, Ramayana and Krishna. And what that did was we ended up drawing like what's happening with Lord Ram and Hanuman. We ended up painting about pastimes of Krishna, and it just shows that the absorption is just in what you deal with, what you deal with every day. So that was our experience as children.
Yeah.
Wow. Like I'm a father of a little 2-year-old. She's going to be 3 soon, and it's so nice to hear your parents, what they did. Like even for ourselves, one thing we have, of course, we have all those storybooks, but actually hearing stories of the Ramayana, like my child likes to watch the Krishna adventures. Now we got YouTube and so many things like that. So, it's so nice to be grown up in that type of environment, and it's so lovely that it for me as a parent, it really helps to see that actually this really will pay off as time goes on, because it's a mode of goodness. It's like you're raising your children in that mode of goodness. Like when you were young, when you were doing it, how did you feel? Did you feel when they were saying to do the arti and the things and reading, was it like a fun activity for you, or how was it?
Well, that's the thing, at first, in all honesty, it was like, oh man, I really have to chant Hare Krishna 11 times before I go to school. Oh man, okay, fine, just to because otherwise my mom
only 11 times only.
So, but that was it. We were kind of, because we were engaging with it always, it kind of became like a habit. And the thing that kind of made it more tasty was the fact that when our mother and our father used to take us to the temple every Saturday and Sunday, and over there we used to meet other young kids that were enthusiastic. And when we saw them, we're like, okay, now it's cool. Now it's bona fide. If they're doing it and they're young, we can do it too and have fun. So, I think I give credit to all our friends that we grew up with,
Well, at the moment, go on. Yeah, I would like to go on. Yogi.
I was just gonna share also the characters in Ramayana, the characters in Krishna are so cool. Like trust me, I'll tell you something funny. Everyone knows Hanuman. Everyone loves Hanuman. I was a Hanuman fan from day one, and he was a Krishna fan. So when we used to play, I was Hanuman, he was Krishna. Now that's some rasa basa. That's some mixed. It's not really like in a pastime, but the fact is that the heroes are so cool. Bhima, like Bhishma, they're just insanely cool. And that's why I love comic books. That's why I'm trying to give these kids like what I find amazing in these comic books, because there's nothing tastier than the stories that we have, nothing tastier than the characters we have. It's just so, and like you said, mode of goodness, it just feels like all your senses are heightened. It just feels like a high. That's amazing. You just enliven.
That's so amazing to hear. And it's like, so this was for you, Yogi. This is the reason you went into comic books. Do you feel because of this some scar in a way, this type of imprint that was left to you when you were younger? Absolutely. Do you think that's a reason why you become a comic book writer?
Oh, absolutely. It's a reason why I'm in Krishna consciousness. I mean, Think about this, Lord Ram, or Arjuna. They used to take one arrow and they used to shoot it, and it used to become a million arrows. It used to become a nuclear weapon. That's so cool.
Wow.
And what do kids like? What do people like? They like cool explosions. What do we watch when we watch movies, TV shows? We watch explosions and all these cool like powers, and they have it. Lord Ram has cool powers and Arjuna has cool powers. So absolutely, this is why I'm in Krishna consciousness.
Wow, mate. It looks like you're in that spiritual world right now, which is Vrindavan. Those that haven't been to Vrindavan, it's a place, if you catch a flight to Delhi, and then from Delhi, it takes about 2 hours now to get to there by car. And honestly, it is phenomenal. It's somewhere where I myself love it so much. Hey, we just had Mantra Madhva join us. Thank you, Mantra Madhva. It's really nice that you've come on. And a lot of you have come on right now. And I really appreciate Chirag, really nice. I got Chirag Bhatia who's saying really nice things about both of you. Salute to them and their parents. I'll just put that up. So that's really nice of you, Chirag. Yes, definitely. Salute to them. Chris Sharma said, they both look like Krishna Balaram. That's so cute.
That's your vision. That's your vision, Krish Prabhu. That's your...
Well, that's his name. It's Krish, isn't it? It's like so sweet. And we've also had Keisha Janavi. She says, wow, very inspiring talk. Thank you. So thank you for joining, Keisha. Thank you, everyone that's coming on right now as well. So I just wanted, now that from a young age, you know, when you were toddlers, etc., your parents are doing this and it's imprinted you. Now you're going to go into school. So I gather you went to Switzerland. You're born in Switzerland, if I'm correct.
So actually, we were born in a small little village in India. And when we were super young, we actually moved to Switzerland.
So you're actually from India?
From India.
The motherland.
That's it. So a lot of people say to me, you're going to laugh at this because they say, because I live in a place called Redditch, just outside Birmingham. We don't class, it's called Worcestershire. And they'll say, oh, you were born in Redditch? I go, no, I'm a Londoner. Why? Because I was born in London. I only spent 9 months of my life in London, but I was born in London. So I say to you guys, you're Dhamvasis, you're born in India, wicked.
It's crazy because for the longest time we travel and everyone asks like, where are you from? And we will tell people we're from India and they will be like, no, you're not. You're messing with us. He's from Mexico or some other South American country, and I'm from like, you know, Persia or Iran, and I'm like, okay, believe what you want. So yeah,
at one point, I just started agreeing with them. Like, hey, mate, are you from New Zealand? I'm like, yeah.
It's fun.
So let's get the story right. So it makes it even more nice twist. They were born in India, they moved to Switzerland, and then, of course, we'll talk about the rest in a second. So now you're going to school in Switzerland because both of you, hats off, you've got your spiritual side, but you're very well educated as well, which is very nice to see. You went to university, you did everything that side. So lovely to see that side as well. It sees that you're serious people as well. I know they sound like jokers, but they're not. So can I ask, when you were growing up now in school, this is like your kindergarten, 5 years onwards, things at home, because your parents probably living in a certain way, you've been brought up in a vegetarian background, etc. How was school as you were growing up? How was that? Can I ask?
School was, honestly, it was school.
Do you remember?
It was a part of our life that we actually enjoyed personally. I don't know about other people, but myself and Yogi, we really loved school.
Fantastic.
Also because, make new friends. It's always been, for us, we've moved around so much in our lives that meeting new people, making new friends became a normal thing. So even within Switzerland, we moved like 8 times to different cities.
Wow.
From like the French side of Switzerland to the German side of Switzerland, right? Back to the French side, back to the German side, to different cities within the different sides. So, we were always like the new kids in the school. Every school, maybe 1 year, 2 years, then we moved to another school. And So it was, for us, it was a way just to make new friends, connect with new people. And yeah, sometimes we were troublemakers, you know, but
He was. I wasn't.
but it was fun. It was fun, you know. We would tell people we're Hare Krishnas, they would know, and we would tell them we're vegetarians. We don't, you know, we believe in, you know, animals and they have lives, and we respect all living beings. And our friends would really appreciate that, you know. We were strong about who we were, and people would just accept it. It was really nice that way.
But I have a confession to make.
Please,
That,
yeah.
the food that, like, because also my mother's Indian, so when she cooks, it's like tadka and dal. And I have
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I stayed away from the food. I tried it once. Like, I tried opening my lunch with a bunch of friends of mine in Switzerland, and like the number one reaction I got was like, "Ew, what's that?" So I literally stopped eating lunch. And Ma used to say, "What's happening? Why are you bringing your lunchbox?" Oh, I wasn't hungry. The truth was, like, that there was some cultural difference. But I like what he said. He said that we were exposed to a lot of different cultures because we were moving so much. And I think that what that did was it prepared us for an international background. We really got to see, like, where everybody's commonalities lie. We got to see that everyone is so similar in many ways, whether they're French, Canadian, or everyone has a different history, a different religion. I was friends with Islam, like with people that are Muslims, and my best friend was Jewish as well when I was a kid, you know? And we all were just getting along. We were all doing our, like, religious practices and sharing with each other. I even remember one story I'll tell you from 6th grade. And we were learning.
Sorry, what's sixth grade? Sixth grade just because different part. How old were you?
Like, I can't remember.
Sixth grade is
That's like year 5.
Yeah, you're like
Oh,
year
okay.
5.
Year 5,
So-
okay.
I was in 6th grade in Switzerland, right? And then we're learning Hinduism, and the textbook says something that I know is wrong. So literally, I just put my hand up. I said, "Teacher, that's wrong." And he was so respectful. He said, "Okay, get up and tell us what's right." And I just got to get up and tell them about Krishna consciousness. And then everybody was asking questions like, "What's this thing in the back of your head? You know,
Yes,
this
yeah.
like, what is it all about?" And then by the end of it, everyone was saying Krishna. Like, all my friends were saying, "Hey, Krishna, Krishna." I was like, "Yeah, good. Keep saying it."
You know what's nice? You know the back of your head, what you said? Like, I wear it to work because I have one as well, of course. And my colleagues at some board meetings that we would have, they would say after the session that, you know, "Oh, what is that piece of ponytail at the back of your head?" And I would say it in a very, I said, "You know how you have an antenna to hear your favorite station? Well, this is my antenna to God."
Nice. Beautiful. Wow.
We said the same thing.
Did you?
Did your
Which
mom
is,
give you-
in a way, it makes sense, and they, you know, it's nice because they could understand. And this is the beauty is right now, both of you seem to be very secure in your spirituality and your Krishna consciousness. So that confidence, of course, oozes. And then you can then speak and converse with people from different backgrounds. I think also what you mentioned, you went to the French side, then you went to the German side of Switzerland. Oh, the only word I know in Swiss German is "Egaster," I think it is. I don't know if that means come over here or something. I don't know, something like that.
Yes, Swiss German is a really interesting dialect. You know?
So do you speak French and German? Swiss
Yeah.
German? Is it Swiss German or French?
Yeah.
What do you speak?
We speak 5 languages, and Swiss German is a dialect of German. So we speak English, German, French, Hindi, which is, you know, the language.
Oh, Hindi. I don't think anybody knows Hindi.
And then
He knows Russian.
I know.
For some reason, he just knows it. It's so weird.
It's Prabhu, you know, it's like after learning 4 languages, when you travel in parts of the world like Russia and Ukraine, you just pick up languages, you know. So and over here, Yogi knows a little bit of Spanish.
I don't know Spanish. Oh no, estás. That's my Spanish. That's probably great.
You know, he'll be really interested in conversing with you, Ananda Murti. My friend Shakti Avesh Avatar. He's part of the fortunate people.
Really cool. Yeah.
I think I need to connect you with him. He'll love to listen to you.
I've met him a few times, and he's a really sweet devotee, you know. So yeah,
They're amazing. For those that don't know, the fortunate people are the ones that do the chant and be happy sessions. You can check them out on Facebook, and honestly, amazing. Spreading this love and peace around the world is so important. So, but yeah, as I was talking about you speaking a different language, Russian, my God, amazing. So Yogi, what about you then? Your brother speaks 5. What about you? How many do you?
I speak so many. I'll tell you right now. I speak English. I speak Hindi. I speak Canadian. I speak American. I speak Englandish. I speak French. So
You're
many.
such a joker. You say I speak Chinese, and I'll say no, it's wrong actually, because it's Mandarin or the other one, Cantonese, right?
On a serious note, he's better at languages than I am. I speak
Confirmed.
English.
It's confirmed.
Yeah, he does. I'll be honest with you. I speak English, French, and Hindi is perfect, but German I'm still struggling with. I can't get it.
So is this come about? Do you feel because of your parents then? Because you're traveling different places at a young age? Like if you were to do this now, and like you're a professor yourself, Ananda Murti, teaching people, do you think you could have picked up all these languages and be I gather they're fluent when we say you speak it. So do you think you would be able to do that now?
You know, you mean to teach something in a
No,
language?
to learn it yourself. Like, do you think you're able to pick up all these languages at this age?
Definitely. You know, there's a study that it actually shows that when you're young and you become bilingual or trilingual, after that, your brain just has the capacity to learn more languages very easily. It becomes like second nature. So, you know, that way I'm very grateful to our parents. Again, all credit goes to them. They're the ones that kind of forced us to learn. They because of them moving around, we kind of got, you know, we got exposed to all these different languages and cultures. And yeah, it's why I guess, you know, people get confused what we are and, you know, where we come from.
No. So you know, one person I'm looking, people saying, wow, multi-talented we've got coming up here, which is lovely. Okay, somebody's saying some funny stuff. You're going to get that when you've got 300 people that are on. So it's so nice that we got about 300 people right now talking about these points that you're making. And just in case some people, we've got some other languages. Can you read this, by the way? I'm just checking, because I can't read that. Do you know what that says?
Bengali.
That's
it says
Bengali.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Wow, you can read it, bro. Jai.
I think
Wow, look at it. They even read it. So let's go on to, you know, you traveled, you've learned so many languages. I want to now touch on something, and there was a question that came up, and I'll bring that up as well on this question. And before we go into your teenage years, can we have this? This is good. Hare Krishna. How long generations nowadays can engage more and more in bhakti, especially teenagers, those who don't have devotee parents or in environments? So yourself, first, I'd like to hear about your teenager life, and I'll have a few questions, and then we can come on to that question that was just asked, if that's okay. So what was because when you transist from kindergarten going on, teenager life changes a lot of things, hormones are changed, etc. So how was that time in your life? And I'm talking specifically now, hitting like, say, the 12-year-old to the 15-year-old type of age, if that's okay. What was your teenager life like?
Well, from what I remember, it wasn't long ago, so it's not so hard to remember.
How old are you both now then, just so the audience know?
So Yogindra is now 23 and I'm 24.
I'm so old.
Yeah, we feel old. But yeah. But we know, we have a long way to go. So
hopefully.
Yeah. You know, just like all teenagers, we were rebellious. And honestly, you know, we're in high school now, and the association in high school, I'm sure anyone that's been to high school knows it's not so great. It's not so great. We got all these people that are indulging in complete craziness, and it's tempting. It's so tempting. You know, our saving grace was actually myself and Yogi. We got initiated when we were Yogi
Yeah,
was
9 and 11.
yeah, Yogi was 9 and I was 11. And I'm telling you, Prabhu, because we got that mercy from our spiritual master, at the back of our heads, whenever we were with a crowd that was, you know, enticing us, yo, come on, bro, you got to come with us. Let's, you know, let's try it out. Just try it out. It's really good. In the back of my mind, every time I was like, oh, I can't displease my guru. I can't displease my guru. And because of that in my head, I would just, you know, leave the place or just, you know, not indulge in it or indulge with them. So yeah,
Wow.
that's one of the.
I'll come on to Yogi as well. And one thing I've just seen, our friend Achyuta Gopi has come on as well. Thank you for coming. She says, some of the most sincere people I know. One thing they don't know is I was actually conversing with Achyuta Gopi just a few hours ago. And I asked, you know, you know them? She goes, they're like my brothers, you know, so energetic, so sweet natured, always ready to do kirtan, she said as well. You know, it's so nice that you both have that type of mood, which is so sweet. But Yogi yourself, so that's really nice to hear about your spiritual teacher, and I'm going to ask about a few questions about it. But what about you, Yogi? Was that the similar type of experience for you as well, that teenage times? Or
Well, you know, the teenage age that you gave was from 12 to 15.
well, listen, yeah, go on.
Those years of my life, what I remember doing was like our parents, they gave us a taste when we were younger of what spiritual life tastes like. So what I remember doing was whenever I was walking home, I was always reading like something or the other, like Srila Prabhupada's, and it's something like simple, like Srila Prabhupada's autobiography. And I just found so much bliss in that. That's what I remember from my teenage years, even like from those specific years. And what I do remember about like that age, high school, was trying to fit in. And I was also a victim of trying to fit in, of trying to like be someone who's accepted by several different groups of people. So I found myself like pushing for that at the same time, trying to be accepted, and then at the same time coming home to my spirituality, coming home to be grounded again in that, you know, higher taste, but still having to go every morning and push at school. And when you're in school, it's like you're battling because you're trying to be like everybody else. At the same time, you know that you're not. So I found myself living two lives. In school, I was a boy trying to fit in, you know, a boy who would like I was trying to be funny. I was trying to get people to laugh, people to like me. And then in my kirtan life, I didn't have to be anybody but myself. I just had to come to the temple, do kirtan, be with friends. So it was like, that was my experience. It's like two different worlds. And I'm seeing both sides. I'm seeing that in my spiritual life, I feel happy. I feel like I can be myself. And in this material life, I have to be somebody. I have to be somebody to be accepted, to be respected, to be known, to be looked at, admired. And that drive to be like recognized, it's like it weighs you down, and it's not pleasing to the heart. So I found that in spiritual life, being myself and just being kirtan just felt like love. It felt like acceptance. It felt like high. It felt good. But then being in school felt like I had to be somebody. I had to work. So that was kind of my experience, like adjusting to two worlds.
It's amazing that, and thank you for being so open. And this is how we can all elevate our consciousness and I'm sure there's people out there right now, the youth listening to this going, hey, I feel like that. I feel in that type of situation. And this is the part we want you to all understand. It's okay. It's okay that you feel like that, because let's face it, we've all gone through it. You know, it's what Yogi's saying, myself, we'll have that battles. But the main thing, what we need to do, the more we take shelter of spirituality, the more our mindset will change. It's like the aspect is, the more we go deeper in spiritual life, we start to zoom out. And then certain things like, hey, you know, my mates are all going to the cinema, or I want to get that car that person has, or whatever. Slowly, that starts to, the tinge goes a little bit less and less. But at the end of the day, We are all human beings. This is
Yeah.
something everybody has to remember, and we're all fighting that journey. So thank you for being so open. I really appreciate that. And somebody's just came with a question, and we talked about your spiritual teacher, and I'm gonna answer. So his spiritual teacher, their spiritual teacher, is called His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swami. And so as you heard, they got initiated. So we'll talk about initiation as well, and maybe you can explain that to some of the people I knew. So from 9 years old, and of course, and 11 years old. So that's mad. Such a young age. I got initiated when I was in my 20s. So it's like, wow, this is just fantastic. So can I just ask the question, first of all, about your spiritual teacher? What was it that attracted you to him, His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swami? And also some things about him, that why you were attracted to him, and how it's helped you in your life.
Okay, this is exciting.
This is exciting.
We get to talk about him.
Yeah.
You know, our spiritual master he's from a state in India called Manipur, and apparently this state is the most beautiful state in all of India. It is said that in this state there's beautiful lotuses that grow that are blue, and they're so rare to find anywhere else in the world. Blue lotuses I've never seen, but when we went to Manipur, we saw garlands made.
Hey, by the way, if anybody hasn't seen blue lotuses, I'm talking about Instagram and Facebook, put a heart or put a thumbs up or go, wow, something, just so we know. If you've never seen blue lotuses, I want to see that as he's speaking. I can see hearts coming.
Yeah. We were shocked when we went to Manipur and we saw these blue lotuses, and the people of Manipur are all Vaishnavas, all of them. The entire state is a Vaishnav state. Now imagine, like, back in Mahaprabhu's time, you know, when we read that there's like millions of people doing kirtan, so that's Manipur, where literally every other person is a devotee and they're all chanting. They know the Vaishnava art, the Vaishnava culture. And actually it was our spiritual master, His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj, that revived that, you know, Vaishnava consciousness in the people of Manipur. And he was the first sannyasi from Manipur, and he was also a well-known scientist. And
Wow.
our Prabhupada used to refer to him as, this is our dear Dr. Singh, our scientist. And Prabhupada loved him a lot. And he used to do a lot of preaching to Nobel laureates, to scientists. That is why we kind of also had to, you know, go through the education path, because our Guru Maharaj told us, like, study well, you know, don't just, you know, stop studying, you know. So that's why we studied, and he's such an example for us, that he's the best at both worlds, you know. Materially, he's so qualified as a scientist, and spiritually, he's a lover of God. He's given his heart, his life to Krishna. So hopefully we can be like him one day. Yeah.
And that's
Wow.
what,
Yeah. And I'm coming on to Yogi. There's one person, everybody else is there, haven't seen one, but this person, Anasuya Yashomati, I believe she's from Birmingham, near me. She's seen one. So they wow, amazing.
Notices, yeah.
Yes, please.
I was just gonna share that what was absolutely attractive about him was, like he said, he's a PhD and he's also a sannyasi, but he was so humble, down to earth. He was so sweet. He was so, like, friendly and grounded and approachable. And he always had a smile on his face. And that's how he won the scientists' hearts. Because scientists are people who are proud. Like, generally speaking, like, why wouldn't you be proud? You're at the top of the world knowledge-wise. You're so smart. You're working with theories and Einstein and physics and chemistry. And it's such a world of, like, you have some prestige there. But Guru Maharaj was so humble that he just won their hearts. And they were ready to listen to what he had to say. And he would preach bhakti to them. That's why Prabhupada loved him, because we were getting this message to the scientists. Now, I don't know if we can do that, but he did it.
And you know, it's beautiful because Srila Prabhupada, actually, he would always ask, where is my Swarup Damodar? Where is my, you know, Dr. Singh? And Srila Prabhupada, actually, he said, my Bhakti Swarup Damodar, he is the jewel on the crown of my ISKCON. whenever I hear this sentence, I like, I don't know, I'm gone, you know, because it's so beautiful. You know, being the crown on the jewel of your spiritual master's entire,
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
he's special.
Oh, we didn't mention his kirtan.
Oh yeah.
Amazing kirtaniya. Amazing. He has CDs as well. Just look him up. Everybody can look him up. Bhakti Swarupa Damodar Swami. And you can listen to his kirtans out of this world. When he sang, it was incredible.
Yeah.
And he was like small in height physically, but when he would sing,
He would roar.
sing with such love,
Yeah.
and he would roar that everybody would move and kind of part. And then it would just be everyone looking at him, and he would walk towards the deities, walk the other way towards Prabhupada. He was such a personality. Incredible.
I'm going to ask a question because it's so lovely to hear, you know, and please everyone check out Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swami. Check him out. And this is the beauty of the spiritual movement. We have these amazing gems who have walked on this earth and have really spread such amazing wisdom and light and love. And that's the reason you're hearing right now from these two people who are, you know, so enthusiastic. And the reason is because the love, the compassion, and also the knowledge that they've shared, been given by this amazing person. So you're so fortunate, guys. Really, really nice to hear this. And there's that, you know, and of course, Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swami passed away, left this world. But I want to ask you a question. Of course, when that happened and you were younger, because we've had a question come through. As you know, recently we had the loss of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami, and when a spiritual teacher, master goes, it's such heartache. Can I ask, you know, you were younger, and how have you got any thing that you can say that can help those individuals that have lost their spiritual teacher, and how did you able to move on? Because it's amazing right now. I'm seeing these two guys flourishing. So can I ask that question, if you don't mind? Because this come up by Shubhra Bhattad. Apologies if I said the name wrong.
It's funny because, you know, the moment we heard about Bhakti Charu Swami's passing, it personally brought us right back to the same, you know, same time when our spiritual master passed away in 2006. And the first thing I was thinking was the same thing, that the poor disciples, they're going to be going through so much pain. I remember when it hit us, we came home from school that day. Our mother told us, she was crying. She said, your spiritual master has gone. And the first thing I was thinking was, he promised that he would come to our home and we would wash his feet and he would give us a Brahmin thread. He promised that to us. And I was very confused. And I was like, why does this happen? And I remember, you know, just bawling my eyes out in the balcony. I didn't want to show my brother. I didn't want to show my father and my mother that I was, you know, emotionally sad. So I just went to the balcony. But what we could say to the disciples of Bhakti Charu Swami is that they never leave. He's still here with us. And he's here through his instructions, through his books, through his kirtans. We can associate with him every single day. He has never left. And in fact, your relationship gets even more powerful when you follow the instructions, when you listen, when you really apply the teachings that your spiritual master gives you. Then you are never separate from your spiritual master. He is always with you, watching over you. Yeah. So that's what I have to say. Yeah.
Also, when your spiritual master leaves, what's amazing is that he can be with every single one of his disciples at the same time. So in my experience, my spiritual master was always there. And you always hear your parents tell you, like in the form of Chaitya Guru, Krishna is there. But so is your spiritual master, because your spiritual master is the representation of Krishna in your life. So Guru Maharaj is like available to you. He's there. You just have to remember him. And when you remember him, then you will feel his presence. And trust me when I tell you this, your Guru Maharaj is there. And he'll wait for you. He'll wait for you to just think about him, and then you'll feel his presence. But on a practical level, if you talk about him with your family, if you talk about him with others, then you'll feel that he's with you. Just like when we talk about Krishna, we feel his presence. Similarly, when we talk about our gurus and we celebrate them, and we feed them every morning because they're on our altar. So you can still feed them every morning when you offer, your foodstuffs to your deities and your spiritual master. So he's never gone, but he is gone in the Vapu.
Just in the Vapu. Yeah.
Just on the Vapu and the Vani, and we'll, the Vapu is the
Body.
physical aspect, and then the Vani is the instructions, and this is so important that the instructions live forever. And it's so nice. And both of you, thank you for sharing and being so open. I've just realized time is just gone. It's like 45 minutes. Boom.
Wow.
And I want to bring it on to before, and I'm having a lot of people saying, I'm the biggest fan. I want to hear some kirtans. I want to hear. So we're going to definitely do some kirtans. But I have one question. It came from Radhe Sham. And the question is, best Vrindavan memory I'm getting. I can see it turning. We'll bring you back on Insta. Just let me just try. Let's try. Okay. We're doing so well. Let me just see if it happens. I'll just take you off and bring you back on. Okay.
Cool.
While you're waiting, think about your actual
best Vrindavan.
Yeah, your best Vrindavan memory. It'd be really nice to understand that side. So you're back on. So best Vrindavan memory, if I can ask, can be at any time in your life.
This is a good one.
Honestly, our best Vrindavan memory, because we spend a lot of time in our youth also, studying here in the Gurukul in Vrindavan. Wow. I used to skip classes, and I used to go to Kirtan and be with Indra Prabhu. Yeah. So every evening I used to skip my lessons at Gurukul, and I used to go and sit down. And he used to look at me, and I used to be a little bit afraid of him, to be honest, because he was like this intense personality with a big beard, and I was like, but I loved Kirtan. I would sit next to him, and he actually got me really close, and he made me sit next to him every single day when I used to go to him. He used to make me sit right next to him, and he used to make me chant really loudly. And then, of course, I saw the mridanga drum, and I was like, I want to play for him, I did try once, but I was just following another Prabhu. But associating in Kirtan with Indra Prabhu was really special. At that time, Yogi was a little younger, so he didn't skip school. He didn't skip.
No, I was a good boy. But no. I remember dancing in Indra's Kirtan, but I think his Vrindavan memory is best.
Yeah.
So nice.
Many pop up now that you mentioned Vrindavan memories. We used to do so many naughty things in Vrindavan. Like, how you read those pastimes of like Lord Chaitanya, like, going to the banks of the Ganges and like going underwater and pulling the legs of like the Brahmins taking bath. So like, I don't know, we were just naughty kids. We used to like go on top of the, the rooftops, and we used to throw water balloons at rickshawalas. And we used to do all kinds of crazy stuff. So yeah, it was fun. Vrindavan has that, that naughtiness.
But I don't know how much time we have. Otherwise, I have so many.
Yeah, I think what we'll have to do is have another session together, and maybe we'll talk on this specifics, and we'll talk about the spiritual world in terms of where you are, and let's do a second session on that if you're up for it. And if everybody likes that idea, please put a heart. We'll make a little series out of it. I'm really, really loving your. I'm feeling so inspired just by listening to you. So I wonder what the audience feel like. Thank you so much. I would be really nice to do now, if it's okay, maybe a 5-minute. I know, God, Jagannath, 5 minutes, is that it? But it'd be so nice if we could have a little 5-minute kirtan from the two of you. Is that okay? And while you're just setting up, I'm just going to just let everybody know how they can contact you and today. So if you like what you're hearing and you want to know more, look, these guys have been born in the movement of spirituality, and they really are some inspiring guys. And for me, I've had some of their association physically, so I thank them for that as well when they came to UK here. And so if you want to follow them, then follow them on Instagram. They're at Ananda Murti. That's ANANDA MURTI. Okay, so that's Ananda Murti. And then also you can follow our friend on as well, Yogi. And Yogi is at being yogi. So, but when you put yogi, it's not Y-O-G-I, it's Y-O-G-I, and I. So being, B-E-I-N-G-Y-O-G-I-I. Okay, you know, he just wants to emphasize that.
No.
I'd like to know.
Instagram handle. So I adding an I until it was cool.
And if you'd like to hear more of these talks, there's been some amazing people that have come on, then feel free to follow myself. My handle on Instagram is Jagannath_Dasa. That you're on right now, and also recently opened a YouTube channel where I'm sharing these for those people that don't like social media or want to have a social media detox. No worries, we have it covered there. So just go to Jagannath_Dasa. So that's where you can also connect. So really happy to have you both on, and I was wondering if we could have a little 5-minute kirtan, if that's okay.
Just tell us about the volume and stuff.
I will.
You can hear maybe a little bit louder. Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's good.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sing along, everybody. Hare Rama,
We can't hear you.
Rama. A little bit louder. Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, with your heart. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Jai Ho, Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan Yajna ki jai.
Wow.
Jai.
Thank you so much. I've so many comments have been pouring in. I can't just keep up. It's just, you're so loved, both of you. You have such lovely devotion in your hearts, and it's been a pleasure for me to witness it online right now. This is them, guys. What you're seeing, this is them, and all their good friends like Achyuta Gopi, Madhava. All of them would say the same thing. So I just want to say thank you so much for today. We've had so many lovely comments on that, and like I said before, if you want to follow these boys, please do. And by the way, not boys, they're men now. They are working individuals. Why am I saying boys? Right? So Ananda Murti, Anandamurti is Ananda Murti. If you want to follow him, and also on the other Instagram chat is of course Being Yogi, who is BeingYogii. So you know, check him out, and also you'll be pleased. Guess what, guys? Guess who I have on Thursday? Guess? Do you know who?
Achyuta Gopi.
Yes, the boys know it. See, we're all great friends with Achyuta Gopi. She is amazing.
We should do something all together if we can. You know, that'd be
Let's
sick.
try it.
Yeah,
I'll do a special one at some point. Let's keep in touch. I want to do a series with you too. We'll do another session. We're right, and at some point we'll get the three of us on, technology permitting. It'll be fantastic. I can't wait. You've heard it here live. That means it's going to happen. Also, yeah, I've got Achyuta Gopi. We're going to be talking about. We've got a series now called Power of Prayers Thursdays. So please do join us in on Thursday. And there's some more surprises which I will not say right now. I'll be saying it after you all join in on that session. No, thank you so much, both of you. And please, let's keep the conversations going. If you've been touched today, I'm going to be uploading this on Instagram, okay, on IGTV after this is finished, technology permitting. And I would really like everybody, and this is also from our Facebook community, go on there when I put it up, and if there's something that touched you, I want you to comment on it. So just go to Instagram, and on there, my account is Jagannatha_Das. So you can see it on Facebook right now. It's just above my head. And for those that are on here right now, give it a follow. And then let's make that spiritual community. Let's make that type of community real, where we can really help elevate people's consciousness even further. That is the mission. So thank you very much. And let's keep in touch. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.